food in my room. Got no price to exercise.
Hey guys, it's Bella. I'm back. Sorry I never have ever transitioned the music out correctly. I don't want to. I just want to start when I want to start. But anyway, hey guys, sorry I'm late. I almost threw up like 20 minutes before this. I also forgot my Chapman ID, which was really bad, so I had to go back to get that. But hi everyone. Happy Sunday. I hope everyone is doing good. I had a very interesting weekend, and I'm not even gonna lie, I don't really have any topics written down for today. I figured I'd just kind of speak out of my ass, but then again, I do that quite a bit. I always write stuff down, and then I kind of just end up saying what I want to say, you know, because I can. Free speech. We're in America. Scary. I did a report this weekend also for the advanced section of Chapman Radio, and I did it on politics in America because that's what I chose to do, because why not? I'm also in a broadcast journalism class, so I kind of get to kill two birds with one stone. You know what I mean? It's a lot easier when you're in 6 classes to choose similar topics for multiple things. But anyway, why don't we get into how my week have been? I also apologize if I feel like I'm gonna throw up again. I think I made a mistake. I don't know if you guys ever oh, that's a little bit scary. I can't see how many people are on the stream, but I can see people typing. Anyway, I always like to make like bell peppers with cream cheese and then fucking like everything but the bagel seasoning. And I don't think the seasoning was okay anymore because I almost threw up right after that. Anyway, sorry, I know that's like gross. I just have to explain in case I need to leave for a while. But yeah, I had an interesting week. I had midterms. Actually, it wasn't interesting. It was just long as fuck. I had midterms. They were honestly piece of cake for me. I'm not gonna lie. I have like almost a photographic memory, I'm pretty sure. And I'm a good student and I have a high IQ and I'm smart. So midterms aren't something I really trip about. To be honest, I feel like obviously there's stuff that's more hard, but I did just get a 100% on my entrepreneurial finance exam, which obviously wasn't super easy because I'm a fucking comm major and it wouldn't be easy besides that. But I feel like a lot of people just are lazy, so they don't study. And then they're like, the test wasn't fair. I'm like, yes, it was. You're just a lazy fuck. I know that with my comm class, I got the highest grade in the class, not to sound like an asshole, but I think that is a flex. I got 49 out of 50 and they curved it. So they used the score below mine. So I got 102%, but it's a multiple choice exam and some people failed it. Like fucking look at the PowerPoint slides. It's not that hard, bro. Like, it's really not that fucking hard if you just try. And, like, don't say you don't have time either, because I'm in 6 fucking classes and 4 clubs. And I commute to LA a bunch. But yeah, I had midterms. I did fucking great on them. Academic weapon. And then I got lit on the weekend, as I do per usual. There's some things I think I probably shouldn't talk about, and I am going to start treading with more caution than I have in previous episodes for reasons that I don't want to publicly disclose. publicly disclose for maybe a second time. But yeah, I got lit on the weekend. Maybe I shouldn't say this online, but I did fucking magic mushrooms over the weekend. I also accidentally did magic mushrooms a couple weeks ago at an OnlyFans party. And to be honest, I can't remember if I talked about it on this show already because my brain is always slightly fried after I have exams and also after I do drugs. Understandably. But yeah, I took magic mushrooms on Friday. I went to a rave with a bunch of my friends from college, which was super fun because, to be honest, I don't really have many friends left in college anymore because all my friends were older than me and they graduated. I do have, like, friends, but they're more, like they're not super close to me, you know, they're more like recent friends, and I have my roommate who I fucking love. But yeah, a lot of my friends graduated. I got to see one of my best friends, Adam, over the weekend, which was lit because I hadn't seen him in a while. I love him. He graduated last year at the ripe age of 27. Let's go, Adam. But we had a great time. We went to the Sound. Two of my friends decided to take Molly. It wasn't my friend that I just named. I'm not going to say who took Molly because I'm not sure they want that to be public information. But they took Molly, and so I was like, fuck it. Like, I'll take shrooms. And the shrooms I took, they were 2 years old. So maybe that's also why I'm feeling not fabulous. But yeah, they were 2 years old. 2 years ago, I bought these shrooms. I bought an ounce of them. I bought 28 grams of magic mushrooms. Surely that was an overkill. Didn't need to buy that many. I also used to have a slight problem with psychedelic addiction during COVID. I did shrooms around 30 times and I was 17, so that definitely had some negative effects on my brain development. But yeah, I bought an ounce for that reason. I took 7 grams 2 summers ago while we were at my friend's beach house. Like 13 of us went to my friend's beach house. Me and my one friend had driven up later than everyone, so we had just gotten there the night before I decided to take all these fucking mushrooms. And so I didn't have the best time. I also, at the time, was seeing this guy who was an asshole, and he's a piece of shit, and he cheated on me, which sucked. But it also just sucked because he was shorter than me and not super good looking. Not to sound like an asshole, but that always hurts your ego a bit, you know? When you're like, let me give him a chance, and then he fucking cheats on you. And then he says after, we're not dating. I'm like, I know we're not dating, but we're like exclusive, which also I think that's a stupid thing that I shouldn't have done. I think that's like dumb when people are like, we're exclusive, but we're not dating. Like, why? If you're exclusive and you're not dating, it's because you have fucking commitment issues, bro. Like, you are dating. You're just not saying you are because you can't think of the idea of being with someone. But that's what was going on. It also made more sense for us because we went to different colleges and we're probably going to resume our normal lives when we went back to school. We never really talked about that, but I think we both just kind of knew that. But basically one of his friends, okay, he's an asshole, but a horrible thing did happen. One of his friends died driving on a motorcycle down the PCH. He was going like 115 and clipped a car. The car spun out and the guy fucking splatted on the freeway, died. Horrible, horrible, horrible. Also horrible to just be driving that recklessly that you almost killed someone else too. But he did die. But he also apparently, this dude was like, if I die riding my motorcycle, like, I'll die happy. But it's also like, okay, you got fucking splatted on the PCH. Anyway, he basically, we were still together, but we hadn't talked in like 2 weeks. I was giving him space because, like, obviously you need it after that. Like, you're seeing your friends, you're being with your family. Like, and also another thing is I had just never had like anyone in my life die before besides like my grandfather, who I wasn't close with at all. So I just saw your comment, Seb. I like didn't know what, I've been through like a lot of shit in my life, but I had never experienced death. And for that reason, I think he low-key was like pissed at me because I was like trying to help. I was like, I'm here if you need to talk about anything. Like, I'll bring you food if you need, or like, I'll just sit there if you want someone to be there. And he wasn't letting me in. He wasn't letting me in at all. But I kind of felt weird about everything going on, and I just had a bad feeling. He basically got a tattoo for this guy that had passed away, and he sent me a photo of it on Snapchat, and I look in the back, and there's this bitch that looks like his ex-girlfriend, and it was. I go to my friend, and I go, do you think that's Jane's ex-girlfriend? She goes, no, I think you're crazy. And then I said, are you sure? Like, because basically his ex-girlfriend was best friends with this girl that lived in my condo unit. And so I had texted the girl that lived in my condo unit if she knew this guy, because I know they went to high school together, and she's like, he dated my best friend. And her best friend is a fucking crazy ass bitch. She started cyberbullying me. And when the friend passed away, she texted him and was like, do you need me to come over and like help you? And like, considering the way she talked to me and like the way she found my number and texted me horrendous, horrible things, and texted him horrible things about me from a fake number saying I was a fucking fat, dirty mammoth that had chlamydia. Like, you're crazy, bitch. Yeah, I just had a bad feeling. I took 7 grams of mushrooms. 7 grams, you heard that correct. That's enough to make someone go into psychosis. And I decided that was a good idea. I did that. I felt every ounce of sadness I've ever felt in my entire life. And it was just like horrible. It was really horrible. I went into like a really, really, really dark place. And so I didn't do shrooms again after that. I've done synthetic shrooms, which arguably probably worse. Probably worse. I was given, like, I did synthetic shrooms a couple weeks ago, but I didn't fucking mean to do them. I was at this party and they said they were like CBD. And then I fucking took them and they weren't CBD. They were fossifillin. They're fucking fossifillin, bro. Or maybe fossifillin, or if that's correct. I think that may be what's in actual shrooms. They were full of some funky shit. They made me black out for like a while. Got scored out of an event. Really bad. Really embarrassing. Really horrible. Not good. But yeah, so I took actual mushrooms on Friday. These ones that were 2 years old. The ones I had like the fucking ego death with while I was at the beach house. Like, also, I don't know why I fucking thought that was okay to just let me get high as shit when no one else is getting high as shit. Like, that was not a good idea. But yeah, took these shrooms. I got them from a drug dealer named Mr. Guy. He lives in the Valley in LA. He's nice, actually. But so yeah, I took these. I didn't really feel them, honestly. I only ate like 2 very small ones, so I microdosed, which was, I'm like, that was a responsible decision of me. Like, was it? Was it responsible for you to only microdose on magic mushrooms that were 2 years old that made you had an ego death before? But I was completely fine. I had been drinking, and then I like invited this dude I liked out with us, and then when I found out he wasn't coming, I was like, I'm gonna get lit because my friends are taking Molly. And that's when I decided to take the shrooms. But there's something about shrooms that can make you kind of like more conscious than you feel when you're sober. Like, I don't know if that's a good way to describe it, but you feel like an elevated mental level, if that makes sense. And I was kind of feeling that, and it kind of canceled out the alcohol. Like, I didn't feel like fucked up at all. I felt pretty sober. I went to a rave. It was good. I had so much fun. We went to the Sound. That's the first time I've been in the Sound and haven't gotten myself in trouble. The first time I went to the Sound, I was helping promote this event through Chapman, through a frat that I no longer choose to associate with. But I was helping them host like an event for this tequila brand called Lo Ciento, which is fucking horrible. There's a reason it's called Lo Ciento. But I went there for an event. We had basically taken a party bus there from the frat with a bunch of our friends and like people that were attending. And I started Zoloft for the first time that day. And my friend gave me a fucking Adderall at his house while we were pre-gaming because I was like on the verge of falling asleep because I'm pretty sure I had an exam earlier that day. And I took 2 shots of tequila, blacked out to the fucking gods. Like, haven't really blacked out like that before, where I regained consciousness and didn't realize what had been going on the past couple hours. We had taken a party bus. We got to the club. Apparently, at some point, I got kicked out of the club. My friend Adam was also there again, and he told me I was holding on to him like a backpack because I could barely keep myself up. And apparently, I got escorted out of the club. I got kicked out. Me and this other dude from the frat got kicked out because we were like hammered, and they didn't like that. And then because I got kicked out, I couldn't pee inside the Sound, and I had to pee before we got back on the party bus. So I decided it'd be a good idea to pull my friend Adam behind a dumpster with me and make him wait for me while I pissed. And then we took the party bus back to the frat house we pre-gamed at. I left my phone on the party bus, and they knew my like mom and dad are listed in my phone as like Ice Mom, Ice Dad. And somehow the bus driver knew to call that. And she called my mom, and my mom, even though the bus company was out of Orange, my mom told them to ship my phone back to my house in LA, which was a dumb fucking thing for her to say, because I had no phone for like a week, and I didn't have GPS to go anywhere, or I couldn't call anyone unless I was on Wi-Fi and had my fucking laptop. So that was not chill at all. I mean, my fault for leaving my fucking phone, but you know, so that was the first time I went to the Sound. I had gotten back to the frat house and I said, when are we leaving? And my friend who helped host it with me looked at me and goes, you're fucking kidding, right? Like, please tell me you are joking. And I was like, I'm not. I'm not. And then I did remember flashes of being in the club. Like, I was able to, like, rewind. I was like, that did happen. Like, I was like, I do remember what the inside looks like. Not good. Not a good thing to do. Funny looking back. Not good in the moment. And then the second time I had gone was over the summer, and it was again for this brand Lo Ciento. And the guy that does the marketing for Lo Ciento is a fucking asshole. He's not a nice dude. He, like, he'll help with, like, some things, but overall, he just kind of takes advantage of us when we try to, like, help him because we're fucking college students. But I went to the Sound. My friend Seb was DJing. And I invited my, like, other guy friend group. And they all came. And I was able to get backstage where my friend was DJing. And he couldn't, like, tell the bouncer, like, no, they're good, because he was DJing. That's his fucking job, you know? And the bouncer wouldn't let my friends back. And then I asked the Los Ciento guy, and he goes, oh yeah, here's passes. And he purposely gave me ones that were expired. Because I told him, he goes, oh really? I was like, yeah, you fucking piece of shit. They were super annoying. But that happened. I was like, whatever. So then me and my friend Emma went to the bar to, like, go get water. And while I was at the bar, some fucking little short, ugly old dude, it's always them, decided to come up behind me and grab me like this. My head was here. So, like, this is my neck. This is the top of my head. He grabbed me like this. And I have post-traumatic stress disorder, if you're new here. I've had some bad things happen to me with men. And I get really freaked out when things like that happen, because I immediately think that what happened to me in the past is going to happen again, because it's happened multiple times. It's horrible. It's really traumatic. The way, like, I'm not saying what it was because I'm scared of who's on. But I react badly to things like that. It's like a nervous system disorder, so my nervous system, like, spiked. And when he had his, like, arm around my neck, I thought that he was going to try to choke me. So I grabbed him and I threw him to the ground like the little bitch he is. And he didn't like that. But he also was really confused. I threw him to the ground and he flew back like 6 feet, like, onto his back on the ground. He was like, what the fuck, bitch? Like, how'd you do that? And I said, don't fucking touch me. And when something like that happens, you have, like, an adrenaline spike, you know? And so I got a lot of adrenaline. And then his friend decided that it would be a good idea to apologize to me and, like, console me by trying to also touch me. And I said, do not fucking touch me. I will do that to you too. And yeah, the guy was, like, shook. But honestly, that's what everyone deserves if they do something like that. Like, sorry, but, like, kill yourself. Like, don't fucking do that. Like, are you serious? Like, you're gonna grab a woman 10 years younger than you around the fucking neck. Oh, also, this is another thing that happened. I did that. The bartenders were staying there and they start going and just fucking cheering me on. They go, that's right, you should do that. They go, that was fucking insane that he thought that was okay to do. I was like, thank you. And it also felt good to have, like, a witness to that if he tried to say some shit. But I actually was having a conversation with someone today about, like pretty privilege and stuff like that. Because I was telling him about how this dude grabbed my ass at Coachella last year and it so wasn't okay. And it was, like, this guy that we all used to be friends with, like, our squad. And we're not really anymore because he's a perv. He's a perv and he's disgusting. But I was talking to this guy, and this guy is, like, really good looking and, like, young. And he was like, yeah, it's kind of, like, crazy though, because some people will just get away with things if they're, like, hot, you know? Like, he was like, do you think that would be the same thing if he was, like, hot? And I was like, no, like, I don't like anyone touching me. I don't care if they're hot. I'm, like, weird about things. I'm super awkward about things too sometimes. And I was just like, no, I don't like when anyone, like, grabs me, unless they, like, ask if it's okay, or unless I'm, like, very clearly into you. But even actually. I'm like never very clearly into someone. People will never know how I feel about them, really. I've gotten kind of weird about that. I also have like noticed this thing where my ex-boyfriend that I recently got dumped by, he had like anxious attachment issues. Or no, I have anxious attachment issues. He has avoidant attachment issues. And did he tell me that? Nope. I can just fucking tell by all the shit he did that like really hurt my feelings. But basically, I kind of have noticed myself starting to do some of the things that my ex-boyfriend did that bothered me. Which I'm like, is that what happens after someone like hurts you really bad? You start to pick up their bad traits from the relationship? I'm like, oh no. Imagine if he has the same thing. He's like super clingy now. I'm like, kill myself. I'm like, God damn it, why couldn't you have been like that fucking 3 months ago? But I've become a little bit avoidant with things. I mean, I always kind of am, like, until I'm comfortable with someone. Because, like, my thing is it's like, if you're not gonna take me seriously, you should have left me alone. I get attached to people pretty easily. I mean, I'm an empath with most things. I know I say fucking horrible things a lot of the time. But, like, I emotionally, like, what if you actually tap in? I also say horrible things a lot because I've had depression since I was born. So, you know, you gotta find a way of dealing with that. Yeah, but I'm always pretty standoffish at first because I'm a little scared. I mean, that's like what happened last time with my like recent ex. I thought he was like this super nice, like super caring guy. I was like, I'm kind of mean, like you're super nice, like you're like a golden retriever, like you're so into me, you care about me so much, and then they get insecure and they fucking flip on you. And I saw that very clearly with him, and he really hurt my feelings. And he just, like, stomped on my heart, basically. And he was also, like, the first dude I've been in love with. So, obviously now I'm a little traumatized, just from, like, you know, especially when someone's like, we're gonna be together for such a long time, like, I was scared from the start, like, you were gonna break my heart, and, like, you meet someone's entire family, you're, like, texting their dad, like, planning a trip with them and stuff, for over the fucking summer. Like, you know, it's you think that you're gonna stay together and not be broken up with fucking 2 days after that when you're going through a bunch of, like, family health turbulent stuff. But yeah, I'm trying to resettle myself so I'm not avoidant and I'm not scared of men. I think I kind of did that this weekend. I finally stopped being like an asshole. I stopped being an asshole to someone I liked, and I was like, okay, maybe I'm recovering slowly. I also just, I don't know, I've been, as you guys know, if you've listened to me in the past, I had a mental breakdown, after I got dumped. It was really bad. Really bad. I went to the hospital. They gave me so much Xanax. I was on Xanax for like a month because I literally couldn't wake up without having a panic attack. I also was feeling, I wasn't feeling suicidal, but I just felt like I didn't want to wake up. I guess it was like in the back of my brain. I would never try to kill myself again. keyword again. Because I can't deal with that again. It's like, it's selfish to kill yourself, you know? And I don't want to upset my parents or anything. I think that would be like horrible if I did that to them. But I had a really bad mental breakdown. And so I've just been kind of scared to do a lot of things, you know? I had to take like Xanax every time I went to school bars for a while because I was just scared of who I'd see. I mean, I'm also a person who hasn't had the greatest experience at Chapman. I've gone through 2 Title IX cases, one of them not by choice. The second one I did to try to protect other people, and it didn't work. I just got fucked over really badly, and it put me into like a really deep depression, and it was really hard to see the same thing happen again and have nothing change and the school not do anything about it. But I'm trying to get back into my like old self, which I think I'm starting to do, which is exciting. It's very exciting. I don't know. I notice myself doing stuff sometimes where I'm like, you are your biggest fucking enemy. You, like, it's like I want certain things or I want to do certain things and I get so fucking anxious. Like, it really is, when people are like, I have anxiety, I'm like, bitch, you don't even understand what my fucking stomach and brain feel like most of the time. Like, I have horrible fucking insomnia. I can't sleep, like, any of the time. I always, like, last night I was up until 6 a.m. It was, I felt bad. I was staying at this guy's house, and I couldn't fall asleep, and he fell asleep, and I was like, I need to go. He told me to, like, bring anything I needed, because he got me from my house, and I am prescribed Ambien now to sleep. Thing about Ambien is it can make you fucking sleepwalk and sleep talk. And I was like, I don't want to sleepwalk or sleep talk in front of you, so I'm not going to take Ambien. I don't want to take Xanax because I don't want to, like similar things, you know? But I couldn't fall asleep. And then I tried to Irish goodbye at 6 a.m., which was, I just didn't want to, like, wake him up, but then I did. And I was like, bye, my Uber's here. But I have horrible insomnia. Like, basically what happens is when this, like, doesn't happen if I'm with other people, like, this wasn't happening last night. It's just because of that, like, my body's used to not being able to sleep, you know? So what I usually do, like, every night is I sit in my bed and I think to myself, like, okay, let me give context. I'm super busy a lot of the time. Like, I'm in 18 credits for school. I'm in 4 clubs. I do work stuff. I'm a volunteer at, like, an animal shelter. I have a lot of stuff going on. So most of the time I'm busy. And when you're busy, you can't think as deeply about things. I still do. Trust me. I still feel like I'm going to throw up half of the time, like, when I'm occupied and doing stuff. I used to get really nervous going into class every day, and I'd feel like I was going to piss myself. That doesn't really happen anymore. I don't know what happened. I started taking Xanax at the start of the year, like the very first day to go into my classes, and I honestly think that, like, may have fixed the issue because my body was relaxed and didn't feel like I was going to, like, pass out like I usually did. I'm like, I probably sound like a crazy drug addict to a lot of people. I promise I'm not. It's prescribed. I swear on my fucking life. But when the night comes, I sit in my bed and I think about every single thing I've done and how I was wrong or how I messed something up or what people think of me or how I should just go fuck myself, or I say to myself a lot, this sounds bad, kill yourself. Like, I say that to myself, and that's not, like, your brain can't tell the difference between what's real and what's false. It just knows what you tell it. So that probably isn't helping with my depression and stuff. But that's what happens a lot of the time. So that's why I have insomnia. It fucking sucks. It sucks waking up too. I used to wake up every morning and feel like I was nauseous. That doesn't happen as much now. But it's still not an ideal thing, you know? But yeah, I take Ambien. I'm like scared a little bit I'm gonna fall down my apartment stairs. That wouldn't be good at all if that happens. My stairs are super, super steep. Oh, speaking of my apartment also, I just ripped my neighbor a new one. Also, sorry, I'm feeling a little nauseous. Give me 1 second.
They came for you one last time. I see you, I hear you, I know. So up the sun's marigold.
Anyway, I forgot to turn the mic back on. I may need to end early today, guys. I'm not lying. I'm not feeling super great. I don't know what just happened that caused me to feel nausea. I accidentally turned the phone on. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, I ripped my neighbor a new one. So basically, I'm actually not going to give any description of what it's like because I don't want people to find out where I live. But I share a wall with these 3 dudes. So my unit is 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. Me and my roommate pay so fucking much money. We pay over $1,800 a month each, which is nuts. It's pretty nuts. But I was going to say where we're located, but I'm also not going to do that. But so we share a wall. There's like an upstairs unit next to us and a downstairs unit. Fuck both of them. I hate both of the units. The girl in the downstairs unit, for like months last semester, kept filling our trash cans with all her disgusting shit. And like, I'm sorry, but they're all labeled by number. You know that's not your trash can. It was attracting like rats, raccoons, possums, everything. I didn't say anything at first, and then it like kept happening, and then I decided to take all the trash she left in our trash can and put it on her doorstep, which may sound crazy to me, but I think it was pretty fucking baller. And I left a note. Also, she was throwing out weird shit. There was 2 fucking MacBook Pros in there, like, and then just like disgusting, like gravy all over. Ugh, it was gross. It was really gross. But I did that, and I said, hey, I know you can clearly see that this isn't your unit. Stop using our trash cans. It's because she was filling up all hers and then using ours. Fuck you, bitch. Don't do that. But then the upstairs unit are these 3 dudes, and they all look like school shooters. No offense. They all look like fucking school shooters. They, one of them, the way I'm like, Chapman Radio won't repost my show anymore. I wonder why they won't. One of them is obese, and he honestly is the one that's the most normal, but none of them ever, like, I'll smile at them on the street. They won't at me. They're kind of scary. The one dude, he's just overweight. He's never doing anything to bother me. And then they have another one in there. That's this guy that looks like Long Neck. if you know who that is, he looks like fucking Long Neck. Long Neck if he had really long hair with an extreme side part in it. He has like, his hair is like almost ginger, and my roommate's hair is ginger, and his hair is like super long, and he's white and super pale. And my mom wasn't wearing her glasses one day, and she was like standing on the street, and this guy was walking from the base of our driveway, so he was like quite far away. And my mom goes, "Oh my God, is Josie home?" Because my roommate was out of town. She was like, "Wait, did she come back?" I was like, "Mom, that's my upstairs neighbor." And the guy fucking heard that. He heard that, which was not good. He's also scary. He's the one that, out of the three, most looks like a school shooter. And then the third one I thought was gay, and he's not. His contact in my phone is Twink Neighbor. Twink Neighbor. And basically, at our condo unit, we have 2 parking spots. I take one of them because I don't have a permit, and this guy takes the other one. And it's never been, like, spoken about what we do, but I've lived in my unit for 3 fucking years, and I've always parked in that driveway. And I'm the only one that's lived there that long. So this has been, like, that is, like, my spot. Like, I'm not letting any of you take my fucking spot. Are you shitting me? And, like, also, when I had the dog staying at my apartment and stuff, it was, like, I don't want to have the dog run out onto the street or anything, you know? And I also just have a lot of shit in my car because I move between LA and OC a lot. And so I was like, I don't want to get robbed, you know? Which I feel like is pretty understandable. Oh, also, I think I do need to end my show. But I ripped my neighbor a new one because he has a fucking girlfriend somehow. He works at the Discovery Cube, and he somehow has a fucking girlfriend. And they both have the same kind of car. And he fucking, like, his girlfriend will park in my spot. And they'll be like, "I'm sorry, I thought you were out of town." And I was like, dude, you have a permit. You don't need to be parking in the driveway, first of all. You're a man. Why are you scared to, like, walk in from the street, you fucking asshole? Third of all, your girlfriend doesn't pay rent. And I told him that. I said, next time this happens, I'm not moving my car. And you and your girlfriend aren't going to be able to leave. Also, there's something I really want to talk about, but I know I shouldn't. So I'm going to cap myself at this tonight. Because also there's another show at midnight after me. Well, anyway, I love you guys. I'm going to Coachella this weekend. So I may have to ask to change my show to Monday because I want the ability to, like, enjoy Coachella and enjoy Sunday if I'm paying $600 for a general admission ticket. Also, wish me luck. My ex-boyfriend and his entire family are going. So hopefully I don't run into them. They have artist bands, so I probably won't. I'll be in the poor section of Coachella. I'm like the poor section where it costs $600 to be there. Well, anyway, I love you guys. Have a great week, and thanks for tuning in.